Ladies and gentlemen, Trubie here again to talk Dice Masters. We're still in the middle of a brief hiatus from Dice Masters events here at the store. Our events are on Sundays, so next week it's Christmas Eve, and the week after that it's New Year's Eve. So, obviously no events. But we should be back on schedule on January 7th, that's Sunday, it's 2 o'clock, and by then the Thor set might be out, so that might be our Thor release event. We'll see, still sort of playing it by ear there. In the meantime, if anyone wants a demo or a game, feel free to contact the store, contact me directly, or join us on Facebook at the, you can find the group by searching 4HMDM. And I just have to approve you, and you can ask any questions you want, or I can set up a event for us just to get together and play. Now, for today's festivities, since we're down for a few weeks, I'm going to try to do more videos to help you out, and we're going to talk about team building, and specifically today we're going to talk about win conditions. This is one of those things that seems to trip up a lot of new players, and they'll find one or two cards they really like and want to play with, but can't seem to get things to quite gel right when it's time to play the team. Really, it's a problem I have all the time too. There's a lot of cool cards, and sometimes it can be hard to narrow down what's important and what isn't on a team. So hopefully a deeper look into my approach to team building will help out. So let's switch over here real quick. So, first and foremost, identify your win condition. How does your team win? Or how do you want your team to win? So like Alfred here. He's a great card. He's a defensive card. He's an ally, and when KO'd, you may roll a psychic or a Batman die from your use pile. If you roll an energy result, return Alfred to the field zone level 1. Either way, return the rolled die to the use pile. So basically, he keeps on coming back. He is in the field perpetually. He's just a great defensive piece. But how does he help you win? Are you working to win, or are you working to not die? So you got to keep that stuff in mind. So even like when we have this Jimmy Olsen and Superman combo. So while Jimmy Olsen is active, your Superman and Supergirl character dice cost 2 less to purchase. He's from the Superman Wonder Woman starter. And then we have Superman, Hero of Metropolis from the World's Finest starter. Superman costs 1 less to purchase for each of your different active Superman affiliation characters. So Jimmy's out. Superman costs 2 less because of Jimmy's ability, and then another 1 less because he's a Superman character. So you're buying these 6 cost Superman dice for 3. And then when you get Superman out, he's down to only costing 2. So that's great. You're going to overwhelm your opponent with 4 Superman dice. If they're just blocking with that Alfred, you're not really finishing them. You got to be able to get through for damage. So like if I want to make this a win condition, I'd throw in something like the Lois Lane from the Bombshells OP. So when Lois Lane is active, Superman dice you control gain Overcrush. That's trample for you Magic players. So now, with these 3, you've got yourself a solid win condition, and you have something to build to. So let's look at something I want to build with. Dum Dum Dugan here. He's got this really cool facial hair. It's very stylish, so I feel I need to build around him. So Dum Dum gets +1 attack for each of your psychic dice in the field zone. That alone seems pretty strong, but we have to have those psychics out. I want that as my win condition, but that raises 2 questions. How do I make sure I have psychics out to make him bigger? And how do I get him past my opponent's blockers to do damage? So sidekicks aren't always the easiest to roll. So to get psychics out, I should add something to make that easier. There are globals on the Star Labs from Green Arrow Flash, the new Rare Professor X from X-Men First Class. There's the Ring from Fairwind Under Siege. All those help you get out sidekicks. But for this team, I actually think Captain America from the Maximum Carnage set and his global is going to be the best fit. So he has when fielded sidekick character dice you control get +2 attack. So that alone, if I'm fielding lots of sidekicks, when he comes out, it's going to be a big boost to all my sidekicks. And I can pay 1 generic and 1 shield to field target psychic die from your use pile. So I'm going to have lots of shields because of Dum Dum Dugan and, of course, Cap. And I should have a decent bit of energy, so I can just basically pay 2 energy and keep on fielding sidekicks. Every sidekick gives him +1 attack. So that's great. I'm figuring out how to build Dum Dum up, but I still need him to get through to do damage. Now, what am I going to do there? So, see, this is where things get a little tricky, trying to figure out exactly what the best combo could be, because you could use something like call-out characters to tie up other blockers, and then Dum Dum can get through. That's the common Black Widow from Guardians of the Galaxy. Excuse me, sorry. She had that, and also Dum Dums from Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I've neglected to mention that. We also could use something like a Dimension Door from, I believe there's the Dimension Door in the Superman Wonder Woman starter, and it's also in the, I think, first D&D set that makes target character unblockable. That would work, but that only hits one character, and you have to actually field the action die and get it out there. So instead of those, I'm actually going to go with Madam Web. She's a nice rare from the Guardians of the Galaxy set, so she ties up blockers when she attacks. When Madam Web attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, all opposing character dice must block Madam Web this turn. So you could attack with Madam Web, spend your 2 energy, everything has to attack or has to block her. Dum Dum Dugan goes through for his full damage, and if you've got a bunch of sidekicks who've been boosted by Captain America, that's probably going to be lethal. And hey, look at this. That Alfred that we had earlier, he's an ally. He doesn't, he alone is not really a win condition, but allies count as sidekicks when they're in the field. So I'll put all these Alfreds out, and for each one that's out, Dum Dum gets +1 attack. So that's a condition where our defensive piece is going to be helping our offensive piece. And yes, sometimes win conditions are a little more obvious, like something like this Firefly here. When fielded, deal 1 damage to your opponent for each bolt character die you control. So with this one, that should be fairly straightforward to build. You just buy a bunch of cheap bolt characters like Rocket Raccoon, the Foot Ninjas, put them out, field Firefly, deal damage, get Firefly off the field them again, repeat until your opponent's dead. So we've got our win condition here, fairly well supported, and we've got a defensive piece out of it while we're at it. So we've still got 4 more slots left on our team, and this is where it's good to think about what stops our team from working and what other people might be playing in our local meta, and what you could be doing to respond to those challenges. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to save that for another time. I just wanted to talk about win conditions. So identify your win condition and figure out how you're going to build to that. That's what's important. So that's it for this week. Hopefully it's just a quick little video. Hopefully it was helpful to you. And hopefully I'll see you guys on Sundays. See you in January.